You stand up for just a second, not leaving, not going anywhere. When you turn back, your dog is already there, quietly settled into the spot you just left. No excitement, no rush, just certainty. It's easy to smile and move on. But animal behavior research shows dogs don't choose resting places randomly. They gravitate toward locations linked to safety, scent, and emotional regulation. So what happens in that moment isn't accidental, and it isn't about comfort in the simple way we think. Dogs don't move like that unless something inside them is responding. Not to the chair, not to habit, but to you. If you enjoy understanding your dog beyond surface behavior, consider subscribing. Because when your dog takes your seat, they aren't replacing you. They're trying to stay connected. And to understand why that spot matters, we need to look at what changes the moment you stand up. It was never about the seat. Dogs don't assign meaning to objects the way we do. A chair isn't special to them because it's yours. It becomes important because of how it feels when you're there. For dogs, meaning forms through repetition. The places you return to, the spots where your body relaxes, the moments where nothing is demanded. Over time, those patterns turn certain spaces into emotional anchors, not because of the furniture itself, but because of the state your dog experiences when you occupy it. Humans think in ownership, my chair, my place. Dogs think in experience. This is where calm lives. This is where things feel steady. So when your dog moves into your seat, they aren't choosing the object. They're choosing the feeling that usually exists there. To understand why your dog goes there so naturally, we have to look at what changes, not in the room, but in your dog the moment you stand up. What your dog feels the second you stand up. When you stand, something subtle shifts, even if nothing looks different to you. The warmth fades slowly, your scent stays behind, your presence changes, and the rhythm of the moment breaks. Dogs notice these things instantly, not with thought, but with their body. They don't register an empty seat. They register a pause in safety. For a dog, calm isn't created by stillness alone. It's created by predictability. By knowing where you are, by sensing what comes next. So when that pattern changes, even briefly, your dog responds by moving closer to what still feels familiar. This isn't attention-seeking. It isn't habit. It's regulation. Your dog isn't reacting to the seat being empty. They're reacting to you being gone from it. And settling there is their way of restoring the emotional balance that just shifted. The quiet message hidden in the behavior. The this. When your dog takes your seat, they aren't trying to be close to an object. They're trying to stay connected to the calm you create. Dogs don't chase excitement the way humans do. They don't need movement or noise to feel secure. What they seek is a settled state, one where their body knows nothing is required. That's why this behavior is so easy to miss. It doesn't look emotional. It doesn't ask for attention. It doesn't interrupt anything. Your dog simply arrives and becomes still. That stillness is the message. In that moment, your dog is choosing regulation over stimulation, connection over interaction, presence over play. They're anchoring themselves to the emotional tone that usually exists when you sit there. The steadiness, the predictability, the quiet sense of safety. So when your dog takes your seat, they aren't saying, "Notice me." They're saying, "This is where my body feels okay." And that quiet choice is the heart of everything this behavior means. Why different dogs respond in different ways. Not every dog responds to this moment in the same way, and that difference matters. Some dogs move into your seat almost immediately, as if the choice happens without thought. Others wait until you're fully across the room. Some circle once or twice before settling. Some only choose certain chairs, certain rooms, or certain times of day. These variations aren't habits that need correcting. They're reflections of personality, experience, and the kind of trust your dog has learned over time. Dogs who move quickly often rely heavily on routine. They've learned that predictability keeps them calm. Dogs who hesitate may be reading the space more carefully, checking for cues before they settle. And dogs who choose specific places are responding to where safety has been reinforced again and again. But beneath those differences, the emotional message stays the same. Each dog responds in the way that feels safest in their own body. Each one is trying to restore balance after a small shift they noticed when you stood up. So whether your dog moves right away or waits quietly, they aren't being inconsistent. They're being individual. Different bodies, different histories. The same emotional intention to stay grounded in the connection they trust. If this helps you understand your dog better, consider subscribing when it looks like attention, but isn't. This is often where owners feel unsure about what they're seeing. Your dog takes your seat. They glance in your direction. Maybe their tail moves gently. From a human point of view, it feels intentional, like a request, like a moment designed to pull you back in. But dogs don't always look at us to ask for something. Often, they look to orient themselves, to make sure the emotional environment hasn't shifted too far. Humans are wired to interpret eye contact as demand or expectation. Dogs use eye contact differently. For them, it's a way to confirm safety, not to create pressure. The timing adds to the confusion. Your dog moves only after you stand, which makes the behavior feel reactive. But the motivation isn't attention, it's adjustment. When you change position, the emotional tone of the space changes too. Your dog responds by finding a point of stability and checking that everything still feels okay. This isn't manipulation. It isn't testing limits or boundaries. It's self-soothing through connection. Once you understand that, the behavior stops feeling confusing or personal. It becomes what it actually is, a quiet way your dog keeps themselves emotionally steady in moments of small change. Why copying you is a sign of trust. Dogs don't imitate randomly. They repeat what helps their body feel settled and secure. When your dog chooses the same places you choose, it isn't about copying actions or seeking attention. It's about aligning with the emotional state that usually exists there. Your routines carry more meaning than you realize. Where you sit at the end of the day, how long you stay, the way your body softens when nothing is expected of you. Over time, your dog learns that these moments are safe. They learn that this is where the pace slows, where tension fades, where the world feels predictable. So when your dog moves into your seat, they aren't mimicking you. They're stepping into a pattern that already feels emotionally stable. This is how dogs build closeness, not through constant interaction, but through shared stillness, by being near without needing anything, by existing in the same emotional rhythm. Your dog isn't copying the behavior, they're copying the feeling. And choosing that feeling means they trust it deeply enough to rest inside it, knowing that the calm they feel there will remain, even while you're not sitting in that spot. Protection without possession. When a dog settles into your seat and remains still, it can easily be misunderstood as guarding. But stillness on its own doesn't mean control. Real tension shows itself clearly in a dog's body. Muscles tighten, breathing shortens, attention sharpens, ready to react. What most dogs show in this moment is the opposite. Their body stays loose, their breathing slows, their presence softens and settles. That kind of stillness isn't about ownership, it's about emotional loyalty. Dogs place value on what feels meaningful in their world, and the places you return to, relax in, and occupy with calm become part of that meaning. When your dog chooses your seat, they aren't claiming it is theirs. They're maintaining the emotional continuity that exists there when you're present. This isn't an attempt to control space. It's an effort to keep the environment predictable until you return. For many dogs, staying in one place is how they protect what feels important, not by pushing others away, but by keeping things familiar and unchanged. Their stillness acts as a quiet placeholder for the safety they associate with you. This isn't possession, it's reassurance. And when you understand it that way, the behavior stops feeling territorial and starts feeling deeply relational. The one thing that can quietly break the moment. What disrupts this moment most isn't movement, it's a sudden emotional shift. When a dog is quietly regulating themselves and is pushed away, even playfully, their body doesn't register guidance, it registers interruption. Dogs read the world through tone, posture, and energy long before they process words. A sharper voice, a tense hand, a quick reaction meant as nothing at all. Those small signals tell your dog that the calm they were settling into is no longer stable. This isn't about rules or permission. It isn't about whether the behavior should happen or not. It's about awareness. In that moment, your dog isn't seeking attention. They're restoring balance after a shift they felt when you stood up. When you notice that emotional purpose, your response naturally changes. Your movements slow, your tone softens, the space stays predictable. Sometimes that means letting your dog stay for a few seconds longer. Sometimes it means calmly inviting them to follow you. Not as a correction, but as a continuation of connection. The key isn't control. It's preserving the sense of safety your dog was holding on to. When you respond with awareness instead of interruption, the behavior doesn't need fixing. It completes itself, quietly, naturally, and without tension. The bottom line, what your dog is really saying, what looks like a small habit is actually a quiet form of belonging. Your dog isn't trying to take something from you. They aren't being playful, stubborn, or clever. They're responding to a feeling your presence creates, one their body has learned to trust. When you stand up, that feeling shifts. And when your dog moves into your place, they're holding onto what still feels familiar and steady. This behavior isn't about furniture. It's about connection, about safety, about staying close to the emotional space where calm lives. So, the next time your dog takes your seat, don't see it as mischief. They're not taking your place. They're holding on to the feeling of being safe with you. If this helped you understand your dog a little more deeply, consider subscribing and share in the comments if your dog does this too.